and open that up. But from Teams directly, you actually can go to this ellipses, search for planner, and add it. So as you can see here, we have planner. Now, the benefits of using planner within Teams is that you're typically going to get the updates sooner than you would if you just use the actual planner application. Also, obviously, there's the benefit of you don't have to leave Teams. If for those of you that like to work directly in Teams, I can move over to a chat. I can move back over to a schedule, all seamlessly in one area rather than having to switch browsers. So today we're going to talk about, just some foundations of Planner and then some of the new looks. So here in Planner, we have My Day. These are tasks that are either assigned to me that are due today, as you can see here, or if I go over to My Tasks, I can actually click on anything here and say, like, go here and say, add to My Day. So if I go over to My Day, I see that appear here as well. Obviously, that's significantly overdue task there. Now, in the My Day area, we have our grid view and we have our board view, as you can see here. And the board view is going to be a little bit more of a modern look. So before, these tiles here weren't as nice. Now it's a little bit more enhanced, as you can see here. We can also now group by status, plan, priority, or due date, as you can see here. And of course, I can take these. So this one's not started. This is my marking task for today. I'm going to go ahead and move it over into in progress. There we go. Now this task is in progress. Once completed, I can update this to completed. As you can see here, now it's moved into the in progress bucket, as you can see here. Now in our My Tasks area, this is also a little bit of a newer look, a little more modern. And the columns we have here, these are all the tasks that are assigned to me, whether they be from my plan or someone else's plan. These are all the tasks that are assigned to me. So as you can see here, I can view by task name. I can move these columns around as well, which is something new that we couldn't do before. I can have my task name, the plan it belongs to, the due date, the priority status, and quick look. So this signifies it's in my day, as you can see here. This also means there's like an attachment, for example, or there's a note. And if there's an attachment, I could see that as well. We can see some task details by clicking on this icon. This view is a little bit new as well, a little more modern, nice too. And I can click on task details here to see more. Let's go into one of the tasks I own. We can see the task was created in a premium plan. So some of the task fields are not available. I'd have to go into the plan to see more. I can do a board view here as well. This nice look. And I can group by status, due date, plan, or priority. I also can see tasks that are assigned to me from this view. These are all the tasks, but I can also see tasks specifically assigned to me. Now here I have all of my plans, as you can see here. I can see recent, shared, personal, pinned, or recommended plans, as you can see here. These indicate that it's pinned here on the left-hand nav. Now, if I want to, I can look at some portfolios, which we're not going to cover today, but there are portfolios, which is new as well, and they're continuing to enhance this area as well. So if we just take a quick look, this is what portfolios look like, and Microsoft is working to continue enhancing this new application as well, or this new feature as well. Now let's go ahead and create a new plan together. So if I say create new plan, this is a brand new look, as you can see here as well. And if we can either do basic plan or premium plan. And if I scroll all the way down here through all my templates, we're going to see the planner agent. So we're going to create a planner agent template today. Let's start with, for example, a learning plan. Okay. So we're going to say learning plan, and I'm going to say use template. And this is going to create a one. I'm going to tie it to a group. And I'm going to use the template. Now, as we can see here, I can plan projects and complete tasks faster with the Planner AI agent. So if I open up one of these tasks, for example, here, I can see some information. If I can use Copilot as well. And then since this is the premium plan, I have this reports area as well. So I can add some more tasks. So I can assign tasks to users. So I'm going to go ahead and assign this to myself. Assign one to Aaron. Also can link it to SharePoint, as you can see here. So I can use a template or create a new one using Copilot as well. I can add files at the project level, and I can have task conversations as well. I can add a goal. So this is actually a big new one here. If I wanted to add a goal. So I'm in the goals area, as you can see here right now. If I go over to grid, I can see my tasks here. You can open this a little wider. I can connect to a goal down here. Now, another great thing is I have open task history so I can see when it was assigned. We have a note here, changes made by planner agent are not available in task history yet. I can add an attachment to the specific task or at the project level. So this is the task level, I can add an attachment. I have my board view here as well, and I can come in here and actually assign a task to planner agent. So when I do that, when I assign this task to planner agent, we're going to see that it's working on it. So if I open it up, I'm going to have this new area that comes up right here, planning and planner agent, and it's going to work on the status of my task here. So we'll give it a minute to see what this does. So any task, I can assign any task here, right here to planner agent, and planner agent can help me work on this task and give me a status update on it as well. Now, the more information I add, so for example, like if I say kickoff, meeting notes, the more things I add, even like as an attachment here, we're gonna see like I connect it to a goal. I can do all of this. We can see that it's gonna give me and more information. I can also put things to needs. After this works on this and gives me a status update, after it's been assigned to planner agent, it's going to move into needs your input or ready for your review. So we're going to review it after it's been working on it. So as you can see here, it's still updating and it's using the latest web content for improved results. And here we go. We have identified and summarized the key concepts and essential skills required to understand Microsoft's Copilot's capabilities. And here we have key concept skills necessary. So it's using Microsoft Copilot with Planner Agent essentially to give us these key concepts. So it's giving us a lot of information here. It even lists our references, which is really nice as well. We can see here it's currently 75% complete because planner agent. And on top of that, I received an email here about the task. So you can see here tasks are ready for your review. One task by planner agent is ready. It can open in Teams or in browser, as you can see here. And once I'm done, as you can see here, now it's moved into the ready for review, right? So I'm going to open it now here. I can add some more information like notes, and then I can regenerate this as well. And it has this tag ready. So I can say this is done and give it, for example, 100% complete. And check off my items as well. Now I can also add this plane to a channel. And right now it's connected to this goal, as you can see here. This has been completed. So it's marked in the completed area. We'll go ahead and assign another one to planner agent, the one that's assigned to Aaron and I, and let's see what it does on this one. And while it's working on that, are there any questions from today's group that we can help answer? Okay. So here we have, once again, planner agent, and it's going to update this to 25% complete. It's in backlog, as you can see here, and depends on, there's a dependency on this based on the template that we utilized. And here it gave us some information. Once again, I can add an attachment, I can add a note, and I can regenerate a response here from planner agent. That's going to help me. And then once again, I'm going to receive that email. So as you can see, needs input. So the other one went straight to ready for review, but this one came into needs input. So I can go ahead. So before I can do anything, I'll need you to answer some questions below. Once you enter your response, select regenerate. What specific types of resources, document training materials, tool support channels should be included in the summary? So I can say documentation and training materials. Select a date too. Oh, here's our answer. And then I can put in my answers here, and then I can hit regenerate. And as long as it has enough information, it should end up landing in that needs your review bucket. But right now it needs input. So this is how we can communicate with Planner Agent. And this is actually available now in basic and premium plans. Before it was limited to premium plans, but now it's in basic plan as well. So that's really nice. Now, just from a licensing perspective, like I said, you just need a plan one for basic plan. You're going to need a plan three to be able to use premium plans, but luckily this is available in both. So with either license, you should be able to utilize this new planner agent. Now we have looked at our board view. This is where planner agent lives, but let's go ahead and look at our timeline too. As you can see here, this means that this was like, with planner agent, this task, as you can see here, that task is completed. It's in planner agent's bucket. It's currently being worked on. And I can see my timeline here, and I can actually extend the duration of tasks straight from this view, which is really nice. Now with reports here, it looks like it wants me to add more tasks. You're planning to have at least 10 tasks in order to generate a status report. So let's go ahead and add a couple more new tasks. And then we'll look at the reporting area here. So you can see here, I have different report sections, and now this report feature is actually being improved like on a every couple weeks basis. So when this first came out, it was very simple, but now we have this new option here for report sections to come in and say like work in progress, upcoming actions, challenge and delays. Do I want it from last week, last 2 weeks, last month? So I'm going to go ahead and just generate a report and see what this is going to look like for us. So as you can see, Planner is a very powerful scheduling tool that you can utilize. Now, when we talk about basic versus premium plans, basic plans are going to be more like an action item, like to-do list, because you're not going to be able to have like effort hours assigned to tasks. It's just like, is it in progress or completed? And a premium plan is going to be for like actual projects. So for something like a to-do list, a basic plan is great. But something like an actual schedule for an actual project, you're going to more than likely want to utilize a premium plan. You are going to have more views with the premium plan. You're going to be able to have dependencies. So like one task cannot start until another one finishes as far as the timeline dates go. You're going to have a lot more capabilities in there. Now we can see here an example of our report. As you can see here, we have a little project timeline. I can copy this into a presentation as well. Copy preview, and I can paste this straight into a presentation. Highlights and achievements as well. And we have a nice little upcoming action items below. It tells me who the owners are, the scheduled dates, and some details about it as well, which is really nice. I can open the plan, which I'm already in, to share more. And then I can also share this. I can keep it, discard it. I can give it some more feedback and give it some more. I'm going to go ahead and say keep it. And I can share as a newsletter, draft, editing, news review, or mark it as completed. There we go. Mark this as completed. And I'm going to go ahead and give it some feedback and say good job. Now in our charts view, this is going to be pretty simple, right? Just some charts here. Now, while we're here, we do have, for those of you familiar with Power BI, Microsoft doesn't actually provide Power BI planner reports. But here at Marquee 360, we do have a series of planner reports that you can take a look at, and basically the data you have in Planner will populate those reports. And it looks like we have a question. I wonder if the agent and reporting is coming to the GCC. It is. Now, with everything released, it's always going to eventually make its way to GCC. It just may be like anywhere from like 3 to 9 months behind. So it definitely should be going to GCC soon.
And Stella, I just wanted to jump in here. Vidya, I'll follow up with you after this webinar today because I do have information on what's new even in the GCC High, so we can catch up on that.
Thank you.
Okay. So we also have this people view, which is really nice because I can just drag and drop tasks to assign them to people. And see, it's nicely broken up here. This is also new in Planner Agent as well. So let's say I want to assign this task to myself. I can drag and drop it here. I'm going to assign this one, reflect. I want to assign to Erin. So I can nicely drag and drop them here, as you can see. I have an assignments view where I can break down the specific hours assigned to people. And as you can see here, our weekend is blocked off. So let's go ahead and say group by task and find that task that's assigned to 2 resources. Here, it's automatically going to break it up into evenly separating this out. But what I can actually do is say that Erin's actually going to be completing more hours on this task than me. So I can increase her hours and drop my hours here. So this is somewhere where we can come in and get more detail oriented about these tasks that are assigned to multiple users. And I can also separate it out too. So I can say Erin's actually going to start this task here, and then I'm going to follow after. So as you can see here, it is adjusted for the total hours as well, but I can come in here and change that too. Now, that's basically the overall that I wanted to cover today. Since we have some additional time, I'm going to quickly just give you a quick look at our planner reports that we have, and then I'll pass it back over to Jen. So this, as you can see here, are some reports that we offer from our K360 planner reports that we have in Power BI. So as you can see here, I can like go to plan owner and go to myself, and then I can see all the plans that I own, how they're doing, and I can add other filters on here as well, plan by owner. So this is all of my data that lives in Planner. And I can limit this to my company, I can limit this to specific people. We have planner milestones, plan timeline, which is really nice as well. So this is like by project, as you can see here. So these are all the projects it's pulling in, task overview, resource dashboard, and resource assignments as well. So did anyone have any questions that they wanted to ask about today? Okay. In that case, I'll go ahead and hand it back over to Jen.
All right, thank you, Stella. Thank you, everybody, for joining the call today. We'll be following up with you with a recording of this session, and then Erin is putting a survey in the chat here. If you would take a couple minutes to fill out the survey, we love to hear the feedback, and we're always trying to learn. So thank you so much for your time, and have a great rest of your day.